Join me for this movement for early labor practice. This is great to do during pregnancy so your body can become familiar with the movement and then incorporate movement and rest as you begin labor. We will use a chair for this practice. Let's start with 2 cleansing breaths in through nose, out through mouth. With your next breath, inhale arms overhead, exhale down, inhale up, and exhale, fold over the chair. Bringing your hands to the back of the chair or the bottom, whatever feels more accessible, and slowly bend your knees and sway your hips from side to side. Bend and sway. Bring your hands down to the lower part of the chair. Lengthen your back, and then find the same bending knee and swaying hip movement a little slower. Very nice. Then let's find a forward fold on the chair. Generous bend in your knees, especially if it's needed, and then sway your hips once again if that movement felt good on your low back. This will help open up your calves, your hamstrings, and your pelvic floor and lengthen them. To come up to a standing, straighten your arms. Exhale, hug your baby in. Bring your hands to your thighs and rise up with your core engaged. We'll move on to a deep squat next. So stabilizing yourself on your chair, open your knees nice and wide, come down onto the tiptoes and the balls of your feet, and we'll rock from side to side, holding onto the chair for support. Mobilizing your pelvis, breathing down into your pelvic floor. If this feels like it's not quite as accessible, you can squat on the chair instead and kind of shift your hips from side to side while seated on the chair. If you can bring your heels down for this next breath, allow them to sink down to the floor, and if not, that's fine too. And then we'll exhale to rise up about halfway, hands to thighs, roll up the rest of the way. Very nice. Moving toward a hamstring stretch. Make sure your chair is nice and stable so it doesn't slide out from under you. And let's start with the left leg up on the chair. Lengthen your left leg as much as you can, then hinge at the hips and fold forward over your left leg. Everybody's different, so this might just be an inch or 2 for you, or you might find a little bit more of an ability to fold. Belly is something to keep in mind too, so make sure you leave space for baby and belly. And then slowly exhale, rise up, and we'll do the other side. Once again, make sure the chair is nice and sturdy so it does not slide out from under you. Right leg lifts up onto the chair. Lengthen your right leg, lengthen your back, and hinge at your hips. Fold over as much as you comfortably can. Breathing in through nose and out through nose or mouth, whatever is more comfortable for you. We try to hold each stretch for anywhere from 3 to 5 breaths, with 5 breaths being the ultimate length for holding. Next, we're going to come to kneeling right in front of the chair and just work those pelvic tilts. So focus this movement on your pelvis. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, and inhale, release. Exhale, tuck, inhale, release. And then we're going to circle. So we're going to bring our hips back to our heels and make a big circle with our body, about 3 times in one direction, and then switch and go 3 times in the other direction. Really helpful here if you have a folded towel or blanket under your knees for support, or if you're on a rug, that should probably be enough cushion. And then open those knees nice and wide, sink your hips back to your heels for a supported child's pose. Inhale, lengthen your pelvic floor, and exhale, imagine it softening a little more. Very nice. Coming to seated once again on your chair, we'll do some side opening stretches here. Bottom arm rests on your thigh, top arm reaches up and over. Stretch through your side body. Feel your rib cage move and mobilize, and those little muscles between each rib stretch a little wider. Inhale, arm up, and exhale, arm down. Inhaling and exhaling, your breath guides your movement. Very nice. And And then let's come to a standing once again. Once again, make sure your chair does not move and is nice and sturdy. And we're going to work on a calf stretch. So stepping the right leg back, the left knee is going to lunge forward and try and work your left calf down to the floor so it's flat on the floor. The more you lunge your forward leg, the more of a stretch you'll get through your right calf. And then we'll switch sides, step the left leg back, lunge or bend your right knee, reach your left heel down to the earth. Try to press the left heel into the mat. Breathing in through nose, out through nose. Very good. All right, once again, finding that nice sturdy position for the chair, and we'll find a psoas and quad stretch with the right leg. And if you cannot reach your right foot, you can also loop a strap around your right foot and hold on to the strap. Opening the front muscles of the leg and the hip flexor muscles, breathing into those muscles. Inhale, imagine you send your breath down, and exhale, release tension. Then shake your leg out. Once again, make sure your chair is nice and sturdy. Other side. If you don't have a strap, a towel, a scarf, a belt, anything can work. This is a really good way to open up the psoas muscles, lengthen the psoas muscles, those hip flexors that can get kind of tight during pregnancy. And then shake that leg out. Very nice. Wrapping up the practice, coming toward the end of our practice here. Coming back to seated in your chair. Nice and tall spine. You can sit back into the chair, hand on heart, hand on belly. We'll take 3 breaths to seal our practice. Remember, your breath is your anchor. So inhale deeply into your belly. Exhale deeply out of your nose or mouth. And remember that you can come back to your breath at any time during labor to center and ground you. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe.